Hey guys, my name is Mysca and welcome to Overwatch Central. So today I wanted to talk about Reaper for a bit, his latest change, what it does, what it doesn't do, and what we think Reaper will need. We're gonna get straight into it, as some of you guys have mentioned that you don't really like the longer intros that we sometimes have. Sorry about that, we're gonna try to be better and just keep that short, so let's get started. So just to run it through those of you who don't quite recall the change, Reaper's passive ability was recently changed from picking up orbs from dead enemies and receiving 50 health in return to having 20% lifesteal. This means that when he deals 100 damage to someone, he gets 20 HP back. So what does this actually allow Reaper to do? What does this mean for the hero? Well, let's go back to how it was before actually and just compare that real quick. So before you used to have 50 healing after kill like I just said, and if you now kill a 200 HP hero, you get 20% of their health in return, assuming that they don't heal during the fight or anything. And that means you get 40 HP back. So already there, we have a comparison of killing a 200 HP hero before versus now, and you actually just get 10 HP less now. So this means that you only really get value when killing those higher HP heroes, the tanks. Sure, sometimes you might be on 5 HP, and that extra shot giving you 10 HP is what makes the difference. But that's still a very niche scenario, and overall this doesn't actually change that much for Reaper, other than the fact that he's now getting healed when fighting each individual hero rather than when fighting multiple heroes over longer periods of time and in fewer increments. Essentially, you're rewarded with survivability when fighting bigger tanks or multiple heroes. But is that really what Reaper needed? Was jumping down or approaching a team from a good spot and taking out several enemies or taking out a backline with Reaper is incredibly useful? Truth is that that just doesn't really happen. Whilst Reaper tries to be a sneaky hero, his teleport ability is very loud. And not only is it loud, but it just doesn't work reliably. I have a clip from the game that I've actually just played here, where I show off Reaper not being able to teleport up to key spots of the map. This happens all the time, it's because of the railings, and I don't really know why this still isn't fixed. And this is Reaper's only movement ability, this loud, semi-broken ability. Sure, if things go south he can wraith form out of there, but closing the gap between him and the enemy, and getting that initial pick, or just initiation in some way, finding that angle of approach I guess you could say, is something that he still very much struggles with. This is the problem with Reaper in my opinion, and what actually needed to be changed and I think still should be changed. And just to be very clear and put it into words, the fact that he can't quite reliably close the gap between him and the enemy to engage targets. This is something that Genji can do when wanting to dash up to someone. This is something that Tracer can do with her blinks. Soldier doesn't have to do it because he has range. McCree has his roll and flashbang, which does sort of help with this, but on top of that he has range as well. Even Sombra can do this a lot more reliably by going invisible and going in and then teleporting out of there. Pharah is another hero that doesn't have to even do this at all because of the range, but Reaper is just left there with a very mediocre kit that just clearly isn't working out. If this change somehow magically ends up helping Reaper out enough to be a really solid pick and be able to compete with the other offense heroes again, then great, I'm happy. But to be honest, I personally don't see that happening. Other heroes in the same category of offense heroes do well due to their mix of range and mobility, and this doesn't even just go for offense heroes. Mobility is very important in Overwatch. A lot of mobility heroes do very well. Mobility and range are really key words, and Reaper has neither. I do hope we see some sort of change here, some sort of rework of an ability. There have been many suggestions about Reaper being able to go through walls, being able to climb walls with his wraith form, maybe reworking the shadow step entirely or just replacing that ability. But this is where I want to hear what you guys think. If there was just a simple answer to this and just an easy solution that Blizzard could even see themselves, then of course they would have implemented it at this point. But I'd like to bring this up for discussion because I feel like it really isn't talked about enough. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's really just about our feelings towards Reaper, like what he sort of does and what he doesn't do, and how we feel about his current situation. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more Overwatch content, but that has been it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to check out our sponsor HyperX. There's a link in the description to a new mouse they have released if you want to check that out if you're looking for a new mouse. But that is all for this time. Thanks again for watching, take care, and until next time, see ya.